Okay, so Avery, I have this question that's been bugging me all week.
Oh, yeah? Okay, let's get into it. What's on your mind?
It's about starting things. Like, why is it so incredibly hard to just begin? You know, I have a list of things I genuinely want to do, but the gap between wanting and doing feels massive.
Yes. This is such a good topic. It's something everyone feels. And the first thing to know is that it's almost never about laziness. It feels like it is, but it's not.
Okay, see, I needed to hear that because it really does feel like I'm just being lazy. So, what is it then?
It's about what scientists call activation energy. Think about it like a rocket launch. The rocket uses most of its fuel just getting off the ground, just for those first few feet.
Right, the initial push.
Exactly. Our brains work the same way. Starting a new, unfamiliar task requires a huge burst of mental energy. Your brain's default setting is to conserve energy, to stick with what's easy and known. So it creates resistance.
So, that feeling of dread I get when I look at a blank page, that's my brain trying to save energy?
That's exactly it. It's emotional resistance. The brain perceives the task as a threat. It could be a threat of failure, a threat of boredom, a threat of it being difficult. And it wants you to run away from that threat and go do something comfortable, like scroll on your phone.
Wow, a threat of boredom. That one really hits home.
Totally. And this is where perfectionism comes in. It's one of the biggest drivers of that resistance.
Oh, okay. Unpack that for me. How does perfectionism stop you from starting?
Well, you think about the task, right? Let's say it's starting a new workout routine. Your brain doesn't just picture you putting on shoes, it pictures the perfect workout, getting amazing results, never missing a day. And it sees this huge, impossible standard.
Mm-hmm.
And because the gap between where you are now on the couch and that perfect outcome is so massive, the activation energy required feels astronomical. It's overwhelming. So you do nothing. Perfectionism makes the first step look like a giant leap across the Grand Canyon.
Right. And it feels safer to just not even try to make the jump.
Exactly. You can't fail if you don't start. It's a self-protection mechanism.
So, what's the hack then? How do you trick your brain into, getting started?
You have to lower the activation energy. You have to make the first step so ridiculously, absurdly small that your brain doesn't even see it as a threat.
Like smaller than I think?
Way, way smaller. I'm talking microscopic. The writer James Clear calls it the 2 minute rule. Whatever you want to start, scale it down to something that takes less than 2 minutes.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, read more becomes read one page. Go to the gym becomes put on your workout clothes. That's it. That's the whole task. Write a novel becomes open the document and write one sentence.
Just put on your workout clothes? That feels like cheating.
But it's not, because the goal isn't the workout, not at first. The goal is to become the type of person who starts. And once you've put on your shoes, the next step, walking out the door, requires so much less energy. Momentum is everything.
Right, okay, you're just trying to get the rocket off the ground.
You got it. You are mastering the art of showing up. And, this whole idea is really the core of what we talk about on this show, on the Progress Over Perfection podcast. It's about letting go of that perfect outcome and just starting.
Okay, so what if the task isn't something you can do in 2 minutes? Like, what if you have to do your taxes or something awful like that?
Great question. For those, you create what I call a startup ritual. You don't focus on the task itself, you just focus on the first three steps. So for taxes, maybe it's 1, get a glass of water. 2, put my documents on the table. 3, turn on the computer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's your whole job. Just do those three things. It's a little runway that leads you into the work without the mental drama of, I have to do my taxes now. You just have to get a glass of water. Anyone can do that.
So you're basically distracting your brain from the big, scary thing by focusing on tiny, harmless things.
Precisely. You're building a habit of starting, not a habit of finishing. The finishing will come later once you've already started. The hardest part is always going from 0 to 1.
Wow. Okay, that actually makes so much sense. It feels way more manageable when you put it like that. I think, well, actually, I know I've been making the first step way too big.
Everyone does. We think we need this big wave of motivation to hit us, but motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after. Action creates momentum, and momentum feels like motivation.
It's like we have the equation backwards. We think motivation leads to action, which leads to success. But what you're saying is the real equation is tiny action leads to motivation, which leads to more action.
Exactly. You're not waiting for a feeling to strike you. You are creating the feeling through action. It's a complete reversal of how we normally approach things. We wait for inspiration to write, but the act of writing itself is what generates the inspiration for the next sentence.
Action creates motivation. Okay, I'm I'm writing that one down. So the takeaway is just make it ridiculously easy to start. Action creates motivation. Okay, I'm I'm writing that one down. So the takeaway is just make it ridiculously easy to start.
That's the whole game. Lower the activation energy. Take 2 minutes. Do the first tiny thing and just see what happens next. You'll be amazed.
This has been super helpful, Avery, like really.
And this ties into another powerful idea: identity-based habits. It's not just about doing small actions, it's about using those small actions to change how you see yourself. And this ties into another powerful idea: identity-based habits. It's not just about doing small actions, it's about using those small actions to change how you see yourself.
Identity-based habits? Okay, you can't just drop a term like that and not explain it. What do you mean by that?
It's a subtle but powerful shift. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, you focus on who you want to become. For example, the goal isn't to write a book, it's to become a writer. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. Absolutely. I love talking about this stuff. And for everyone listening, that's it for this episode of the Progress Over Perfection podcast. Give that 2-minute rule a try this week.
Yeah, let us know how it goes. And thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.